Bay Area counties are updating their indoor masking requirements. Most counties are in agreement about whether or not to keep their mask mandates, all counties except for Santa Clara County.
But ultimately, our job is to follow the science, to keep our community as safe as possible, and to ensure that we continue to protect the people who are most vulnerable. To do this, we cannot lift the indoor mask requirement with community transmission as high as it is right now.
Dr. Cody says the county needs to see a high vaccination rate, low hospitalizations, and the 7-day case average must be below 550 cases per day. Until the county meets those requirements, Santa Clara County will keep the masking requirement. The county is the only one in the Bay Area not lifting its indoor mask requirement. The other 10 Bay Area counties announced that they will lift universal mask requirements for most indoor public settings beginning Wednesday, February 16th. San Francisco Mayor London Breed took to Twitter to say the change will only apply to vaccinated people. Unvaccinated individuals in San Francisco still need to mask up indoors. These decisions come as Governor Gavin Newsom announced that the statewide indoor mask mandate will expire on February 15th.
Along with Northern California updating its mask mandates, Southern California is seeing changes as well. Much of the state is looking forward to mask mandates going away, but Los Angeles County is expecting to keep theirs. The health director cited stricter requirements to consider the region as post-surge.
Los Angeles County will not follow the state's guidelines to end mask mandates for vaxxed individuals. The county's Department of Public Health will delay dropping mask mandates for anywhere from weeks to months later. At a February 8th Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors meeting, Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer restated the requirements for dropping the mask mandates. The county needs to record less than 2,500 hospitalizations for 7 consecutive days to drop outdoor mask mandates. Indoor mandates will require either lower transmission rates or vax availability for children under 5. The continued mandates come after Governor Gavin Newsom announced upcoming changes on February 7th. He said through Twitter that vaxxed individuals will not need to wear masks indoors starting February 15th. Newsom cited the rapid decline in Omicron cases. Most Southern California counties like San Bernardino, Orange, San Diego, and Riverside plan to drop the mandate, but Los Angeles County says it will set its own rules.
Costs for California's high-speed rail project are increasing again. Another $5 billion is being added to the total price tag with no track being laid down yet. NTD's Eileen Ng brings us more.
According to the California High-Speed Rail Authority's estimates released Tuesday, it could take $105 billion to finish the route from San Francisco to Los Angeles. The authority's biennial business plan cited minimizing community disruption for the updated cost. This includes distancing the train from the Cesar E. Chavez National Monument in the Central Valley and tunneling tracks near the Burbank Airport. The project's price tag has steadily risen since 2008, when the total cost was $40 billion. Since then, the costs have kept climbing amid struggles to get the necessary land, as well as other delays. Today, the rail authority is far short of the money it needs to complete the full project. No track has been laid yet, but the authority has obtained 90% of the land it needs for the first segment, and more than half of the full 500-mile route is now environmentally cleared. Construction for the first part of the line is underway on a 119-mile segment from Merced to Bakersfield, where trains are tested before they carry passengers. In a statement, Assemblyman Jim Patterson said, "Given the embarrassing failures this project has raked up, I'd be surprised if the feds decide to throw more money at it." During the Obama administration, California won roughly $3.5 billion for the project. Then former President Trump revoked about $1 billion of that. The Biden administration has returned those funds. The project expects to receive more money from the Biden administration and the state. CEO Brian Kelly said, "This is a great opportunity to really move the project forward." Eileen Ng, NTD News, California.
A new bill supporting parents' rights for how their children are educated came into the state legislature this week. It was introduced after parents saw what their children were being taught through online learning.
Assemblywoman Lori Davies, representing Laguna Niguel, introduced new legislation supporting parental rights in the state. During the February 7th press conference, she said she will fight for parents' rights about school choice, access to academic records, and autonomy over the child's health care.
During these last 2 years, Sacramento politicians have ignored the needs of our children and used our kids as a political pawn. It makes no sense to punish our children when the adults don't abide by their own mandates.
Davies' new legislation is titled the California Parents' Bill of Rights. The bill will make it easier for parents to decide what religious and moral teachings the students receive, taking vaccinations and wearing masks.
We know that parents always make the best decisions for their children, not the districts.
The bill would require schools to provide more opportunities for parents to sit in on classes. Parents would also be better informed on how to opt out of sex education.
We have to be vigilant as parents, as community members, in being aware of what's happening and call out things that are not right.
Lisa Davies, a trustee for the Capistrano Unified School District, said after 2 years of online learning, parents have a better idea of what's being taught in class. She described it as a small silver lining of online learning.
Every parent is given the right to make the decision they deem best to protect the health and welfare of their children, not Sacramento politicians.
Davies' bill may face challenges in the California legislature from a Democratic supermajority. However, she said she is pushing parents to raise their voices about the state's actions that have directly impacted their children.
The University of California has agreed to pay almost $250 million to settle allegations of sexual abuse. Hundreds of women say they were abused by a former UCLA gynecologist. Attorneys in the case represented 203 women who said they were groped or otherwise abused by Dr. James Heaps over his 35-year career. The lawsuit said the university ignored decades of complaints and that they deliberately concealed the abuses. The lawsuit is one of the hundreds filed that allege abuse by Heaps. UCLA settled a similar lawsuit last year for $73 million. UCLA began investigating Heaps in 2017. He retired after the school declined to renew his contract. Heaps was also criminally charged last year with 21 counts of sexual offenses involving 7 women. He has pleaded not guilty and denied wrongdoing. Tesla received a recall notice saying that the heat pump in some of their vehicles could have problems defrosting the windows fast enough, impairing visibility. The recall will apply to almost 27,000 Tesla cars. NTD's Jason Blair brings us more.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issued a recall for nearly 27,000 Tesla vehicles due to an issue with the cabin heating systems. The NHTSA is concerned that the heat pump might not be able to defrost the windshield quickly enough, cutting visibility and increasing the risk of a crash. Tesla says it has not heard of any crashes or injuries tied to the heat pump problem. This is the latest of 3 recalls for the electric vehicle maker in 2022. According to documents posted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, this issue, like the others, will be fixed by Tesla with a software update. Earlier this year, there were issues regarding a seatbelt chime problem and with the full self-driving software rolling through stop signs and not coming to a complete halt. The NHTSA also says in the recall notice that a software error can cause a valve in the vehicle's heat pumps to open unintentionally, trapping refrigerant inside the evaporator. That can reduce defrosting performance. The problem can deplete the refrigerant in some parts of the heat pump, causing the compressor to stop working as a fail-safe measure. That can cause loss of cabin heating, largely when it's minus 14 degrees Fahrenheit or colder. Jason Blair, NTD News, California.
A Southern California couple shared an intimate view of their living space atop a pine tree over 100 feet above the ground. The catch is, they're both bald eagles. The 2 eagles reside next to Big Bear Lake in the mountains outside of Los Angeles. Their nest is 145 feet above the ground. Streaming video from the Friends of Big Bear Valley showed the female, named Jackie, tending to her eggs. The male, Shadow, later joins her and takes her place. Last year, the couple also laid 2 eggs, but unfortunately neither chick survived. But they have a new pair this year. One of the eggs was laid on January 22nd, while the second came 2 days later. Friends of Big Bear Valley say the chicks should hatch in late February.